they accuse you
Okay.
of having a baby mother.
Yep.
You made the OnlyFans for money.
Every girl I date is a webcam model, or is every girl I date is an OnlyFans chick.
Welcome back to Masculine Academy channel, where we are helping men to become their best version. Today we are reviewing an episode of Fresh and Fit where Tristan Tate is confessing to have baby with an OnlyFans model. Check this out.
What's wrong with my life?
So they accuse you
Okay.
of having a baby mother
Yep.
that you made the OnlyFans for money. And we talk about it on our podcast as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we defend you because obviously speaking, we know you very well. But these idiots online like to think they know us better than we know ourselves.
Yeah, so I can actually touch on this very, very, very briefly.
Yeah.
I am worth so much fucking money.
Yeah.
So much money. If any girl ever got pregnant with a child of mine, she'd never have to work another day in her life. I don't care if she's an OnlyFans girl or a waitress, etc., etc. Now, everyone knows I used to run a webcamming website. Everyone knows I ran this webcamming website, this streaming company, which, by the way, is not linked to my criminal case at all.
At all.
And I ran this for years and years and years and years. I made lots of good friends, both male and female, in that industry. I still have a lot of good friends within that industry now. And people, when they see me out in public or something, I don't want to talk too much detail about my actual life, but people will be like, oh, you were the girl who does OnlyFans. I'm like, yeah, well, she used to work for my company for 5 or 6 years.
If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe for more similar content.
The fact that that's used as an attack angle on me, I'm perfectly fine with, because that was very much a part of my life. However, if I get someone pregnant, they're not going to work any single job ever again for the rest of their life. I'm going to take care of them. They take different events in history and mix them together to write some false narrative or some false story, or as though every girl I date is a webcam model, or as every girl I date is an OnlyFans chick.
Let me put it this way. Having a child with an OnlyFans model who puts herself naked on the internet is definitely the L for Tristan. It doesn't matter how successful he is, this is definitely a poor choice. And it is very sad to see that he doesn't even acknowledge that it is a regrettable choice. It is fine to make mistakes, and it doesn't necessarily define the person that he is today. But not acknowledging at least that you wouldn't recommend it to anyone else to have a child with an OnlyFans model, it is disingenuous. And on top of that, as a parent, the only priority that you have is the health of your child, mental and physical health of your child. And having a mother who does OnlyFans is definitely not a great start. I'm not saying that Tristan is the bad person. I do believe that Tristan and Andrew have provided very interesting advice and are very good at diagnosing the issues with the current society. But it doesn't mean because you are doing a lot of good things that some of the aspects of your life cannot be criticized.
There was a porn star who recently went on the Adam 22 podcast. Her name was CJ Miles.
The Asian chick.
Yeah, said little Asian chick. Now, she's a porn actress. So she's on this podcast, and she's sitting there saying, yeah, I met Tristan on a dating app, and he was in Dubai, and I flew out to see him, and we hooked up, and we hung out, and yeah, Tristan was, rough with me in bed, and it was fun, and gave me this kind of good review, I guess. And everyone's like, Tristan's having sex with porn stars, Tristan's having sex with porn stars. One, if I have sex with porn stars, none of your fucking business. Two, I'm not trying to marry the bitch.
Yeah.
Three, she wasn't a porn star at the time. She was just a hot girl with a hot Instagram.
Yeah.
She didn't start shooting adult content until about a year after I'd hooked up with her in Dubai all those years ago.
There you go.
But people will take a tiny little aspect of my life, one little interview, one word someone says, collaborate a bunch of stupid facts. And by the way, I saw that girl for 2 days of my life. 2 days. Ever. I've never seen her again. Never saw her afterwards. It was a very fun weekend. I'll be honest. It was a very fun weekend. And it is what it is. But people who are looking to criticize, when I say, oh, if you want a good girl who's a virgin to start a family with, what, motherfucker, you think I don't have virgins? You think I don't have virgin girlfriends? Are you out of your fucking mind? So it's just people trying to look at something and criticize it in one way or another.
And that definitely comes back to the uncontrolled promiscuity. As I said, I do not recommend promiscuity, neither for men or women. High promiscuity is not the solution. And that's exactly the type of issue that you run into. Because even if you take all the precaution in the world, you can still end up having a child with a porn star or an OnlyFans model So at the end of the day, you have to be careful about what type of family you want to build, what type of children you want to build. And having children with someone with very little moral values is definitely not a great option. And people tend to say that promiscuity is bad for women, which is very true. But as you can see in this graph, the difference between the impact of high number of sexual partners between men and women is not that great of a difference. There's a bit of difference, yes. It impacts women much more, but it does impact men in their ability to pair bond and be genuinely happy in the long run.
No, I don't.
If you meet the right man, you want to.
Well, me and my boyfriend, we've talked about it, and we're both like,
He's 22.
How would you feel like if your kids comes to you and show you all the pictures with your boyfriend on OnlyFans? Would you
I
feel
hate that
ashamed?
question.
I would just own it.
I fucking hate that question.
I know it's a hard one. But,
I see my
That was a
future if I
stupid
have
one.
kids. It's with the person I'm with now.
so how would you react
It's a valid question, though.
when they
It's a
tell
stupid
you,
question, though.
"Mommy,
it's
what's
valid.
It's very
that?
stupid.
My-
but-
No, it's
my-
not stupid.
My friends in school show me these pictures of you and Daddy. What are you doing here?"
I'm gonna
I'm getting fucked.
Your mom's a whore.
I'm gonna say this is what mommy and daddy did to provide you such a nice life.
And why you didn't have a normal job like the other parents?
Didn't interest me.
They said you got cream pied, mom. What the fuck?
But like, you really think that years?
It's happening.
that's-
Kids on Twitter right now
Yeah.
are talking about getting bullied. Like, kids are old enough now to tweet that are saying like, "Yo, people are pulling up my mom's OnlyFans at school and watching it and making fun of me in school."
Exactly, and they really struggle with that. Even Anna Nicole Smith, I think it was the name, the famous actress that was like a porn actress. Her son killed himself at 19.
So two things. First of all, it is perfectly valid for women and men to criticize OnlyFans models. It is very likely that when you have a child, this child will be bullied in school as a result of your mother doing OnlyFans. Because seeing other kids criticizing or watching your mother half naked is probably one of the worst feelings in the world. But secondly, have you noticed how the other women, the other OnlyFans model reacted, stating that this was a stupid question?
So how would you react
It's a valid question, though.
when they
It's a
tell
stupid
you,
question, though.
"Mommy,
it's
what's
valid.
It's very
that?"
stupid.
My-
No, it's
my-
not stupid.
It is not a stupid question. It's a totally valid question. But you can see the lack of accountability. As soon as the accountability kicks in, a lot of women are nowhere to be found. It is also sad that women are not holding other women accountable for their poor choices. As a parent and as an adult, at some point, you have to think about more than just the next 6 months.
Because now your kids are going to have to deal with the consequences of your actions. There's kids right now that are going to school and getting bullied.
Yeah, there's kids that are
because
committing
they're able to
suicide.
see their mom on OnlyFans doing things.
Well, I keep what I do for a living separately from my personal life. That's what I do.
There's always gonna be a hater.
It
You're gonna be somebody on the
depends on the
internet.
way that you're raising your kids because my kids are gonna respect me.
Hold on. You have
and
a big social
appreciate
media
what I did
following,
for
right?
them.
Correct.
Yes.
So it's going to be impossible for them to separate your personal life and
I keep it separately, completely
But they're
separately.
gonna know.
Hold on.
They're gonna know.
They're going to
People are
find
gonna
out. It's on the internet.
There's
Okay,
always
by the
someone.
time that they find out, they're gonna understand and appreciate what I did for them.
Okay, but you
'Cause I
also
know
need to
how
be
I'm
mindful.
raising-
You need to be mindful of what you're doing while you're in survival mode. You're
I know.
thinking about right now. You're not thinking about
Right
the
now-
future.
So many people justifying bad actions for the future of their kids. They will totally justify prostitution, recording on OnlyFans for a better life for their kids. Is that the logic? At the end of the day, whether you're keeping your life private or not, if you're all over the internet, your kids are going to see it at some point. Their friends are going to see their moms half naked, having sexual intercourse with other men. Most of the content creators on OnlyFans do not make substantial money. So is it worth sacrificing your future with your child for money? It is not worth it, in my opinion. And I do not recommend any women to go on OnlyFans. Recently, I was reading this statistic. Apparently, the life expectancy of a porn star is 37 years old. Can you believe that? This is due to the high pandemic of people killing themselves. So make wise choices to preserve your future. And here another story of an OnlyFans model that claims to be Christian. That's gonna be juicy. Click on this link.